Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about IRL Adventures. All right, so my news source now is USA Today. It's excellent, really, really fantastic, and they did a story about a New York Times op-ed. Now, why would the New York Times doing an op-ed be newsworthy? Well, what it was proposing for was quite shocking. All right, so first of all, New York Times, super liberal, super liberal news source, right? Crazy liberal, like just outlandishly liberal. Just really trying to correct that. All right, outlandishly liberal, okay? And so, but Mitt Romney ain't. That dude ran for Republican president at one point. He got dusted, but he still ran, right? And he's a Republican, right? And he's a kind of a dyed-in-the-wool, like, he's red. He like as red as they come, right? And so in his op-ed, he said we need to start openly discussing our nuclear retaliation against Putin. He's like, "Oh, you threatening a nuclear sending nukes our way? Well, we're gonna start openly discussing our nuclear retaliation toward you." This was unheard of. This made the international news that he was even talking about it. Right? And it's big, it's bold. He's like, bring it. You wanna nuke half our cities? Fine. The other half gonna roll on you with red, white, and blue thunder, right? We will, if we gotta walk across the Bering Strait and take care of y'all with, sticks and clubs, we do it, right? Like, a nuke strike ain't nothing but a thing. Let's do it. Let's bring it. Let's go, right? Like, we got him too. You want to tussle, right? He was getting salty, right? And he in Congress, right? Like, he matters. He still has a voice, right? So Mitt Romney, he's like, y'all can't threaten us. It ain't enough. And the reason why he was saying this is like tons of senators and congressmen and congresswomen were like, oh, did you say you would nuke us? You win. Oh, that would bring on the beginning of World War III. Oh no. Romney, bring it. Let's go, right? Here's the thing, right? We already know this. I'm a dungeon master. You a dungeon master, right? We've seen this before, right? We've been here before, right? We've taken players to the brink. Oh, you're 8th level. There's an ancient red dragon in that mountain, right? There's only 4 of you. Can you defeat it? Oh, you did the math. You're going to get wrecked, right? It's going to be real bad, right? Maybe only half of you may get out alive, right? That's the adventure. And we have brought them to this brink, and they say, you know what? We did the math, we know, you talked about it last week, but this week we're going in, right? We're going to try. We're going to take this ancient red dragon. Oh, yeah, he blows, a lot of fire out the hole of his mountain. Came down and took a bunch of, sheep, right, and cows. Oh, he's demanding a couple of human sacrifices now from the village, right? Let's go, man. Get your magic sword. Get your shield. Let's roll. We're going to take this dragon out, right? And we bring people to this. So, as dungeon masters, we free them. What race you want to be. What gender you want to be. What orientation you want to be, okay? Oh, you live a risk-free life? Oh, you're always cautioned? Let's experiment with risk. Let's experiment with loss, right? Because you are an adventurer, right? So we have taken players to the brink of adventure, of risk and loss, right? And we have conversations weekly about death, right? And we're like, hey, some things are worth death. What's worth death? Honor, right? What's worth death? Saving 5 other lives, not just holding on to our own, right? What's worth death? Being free and never cowering in fear, right? We bring players here, right? Now, this helps us in lots of ways, and it helps them, right? But Dungeons and Dragons brings us this option, right? Every other, and we should pity them, every other non-Dungeons and Dragons player in the world is bound by their fear, right? They have to keep their own risk levels. They don't have the ability to experiment with adventure, right? With risk. They only get one shot at death, right? Like, how many times have you died? How many times have I died? Probably over 10, right? You know, like, death doesn't grip us with fear like the rest of the world. We've discussed it. We've dealt with it. We've gone through it and come out the other side. That's what Mitt Romney's saying. He's like, yeah, that ain't the end of the world, right? Like, a little fire, a little loss of life, right? That ain't the end of the world. We can go through it, right? Just like we've done at the table 20 times, right? Now, Dungeons and Dragons puts Dungeon Masters in the position of creating table adventures, right? But the reality is, it also allows us to see IRL adventures. Mitt Romney is clearly an IRL adventurer. He's got that spirit. He's like, here's my sword, here's my board. I'm ready. Bring the thunder. We will send it right back. Right? He's got that fighting spirit, right? And I see him as a dungeon master. I see an IRL adventurer. Now I got a question for you, right? You have been there, right? You have been the player character adventurer. You have Dungeons and Dragons sight. You could see the IRL adventurer. Here's the question. Can you be the IRL adventurer? I think I can. Can you? Love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.